Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva, tvameva bandhuscha saka tvameva, tvameva vidya dravinam tvameva, tvameva sarvam mama deva deva. Shri Dakshinamurti Sudeshikendram Dvaipayanam Sutrakritam Munindram Sri Shankaram Bhashyakritam Yatindram Maddeshi Kanchapi Namami Vidyai. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartribhyo Vamsarishibhyo Mahadbhyo Namo Gurubhyah Sarvopa Plavarahita Prajnana Ganaha Pratyagarto Brahmaivaham Asmi. Om Prapanna Parijataya Totra Vetraikapanaye Jnana Mudraya Krishnaya Gita Mrtaduhe Namaha. Pranams everyone. We are in Sloka 7, chapter 2. Arjuna Uvacha Karpanyatosho Pahavat Swabhavaha Pritchami Tvam Dharma Sammuda Chetaha Yat Shreyasyan niścitaṃ brūhi tanme Shishyasteham Shadimam Tvam Prapannam. So this is, as I said, is an important sloka in the sense it shows Arjuna's change, his mind changes. He is actually surrendering to Bhagavan. And in the last class we saw what kind of a person will surrender. What is surrender actually? Surrender an activity. What is being surrendered in Sharanagati? And to whom should a person surrender? And then we also said, how do we identify a guru? And what is it that the Shishya must know? And what is it that the guru must know? So we saw all those questions. And we also saw, what if we don't meet the right guru? Or if we meet the right guru but we are not ready, what will happen? We had seen all those things. And at that point of time, Venu, you had a question. We couldn't actually take that then. Do you want to?
Yeah. Yes, see, the point was I was wondering, we were discussing Sharanagati and also we said Shraddha. Both these points were said, and also you mentioned that people can make mistakes. So these three things look like
people can? Can you repeat that?
People can make mistakes in selecting gurus.
Yeah.
You said that. So they all look contradictory to each other, isn't it? Because when you say Sharanagati, Shraddha, and you can make mistakes, then aren't you kind of I hope it's clear.
Yeah. I got it. So basically when can a person make a mistake? Mostly it happens only when the person himself is not qualified enough. So if the person is qualified enough, as in the qualification of a Shishya is basically where he is willing to actually let go of his ego and also has the necessary bhakti and shraddha, then with the amount of punya with the person has, as I said, Ishvara will make sure that the person gets the right guru for the mindset of the Shishya, according to the mindset of the Shishya. That will happen automatically. If within the lifetime the Shishya can actually grow out of that guru also, it's not possible. Then the Shishya basically finishes with one guru, then gets on another guru as well. That is also possible. So what we have to understand is Shraddha. If we let go of Shraddha, then even if we see the right guru, we will even if we get the right guru, the Shishya will be seeing them as a wrong guru. So Shraddha is important. Then the other one is, even if you get the right guru, even if you have Shraddha, if you are not doing full Sharanagati, then you will not be able to absorb what the guru says. Yes, Venu?
Yeah. Actually, on this, if I may take a couple more minutes, see the thing, if suppose it's not questioning and an open mind, better than Sharanagati and Shraddha? Because isn't our literatures full of Guru Shishya Samvadas where the Shishya actually questions what the Guru says and the Guru explains further and so on, like not accepting as he is, whatever is said. Like, is it not, even our own dialogue as we speak now, like, is it not made of kind of not taking whatever is given as the Bible, so to use the more famous word, like, but rather question it, like, and just see the truth of it. Is it not the tradition in which we have come?
Absolutely, but the question there is, we are confusing between Sharanagati and the openness to the mind. The openness to the mind is where I am not actually questioning the intent, or I am actually not judging the Guru, or I am not judging the Shastras. It is with an open mind that I will have to listen to the Shastras, and there would be things that may not be really I couldn't probably get it. It may be against my personal beliefs and experience, where I may have to keep a mind open to see what is it that the Guru is teaching. And that's what we discussed in the last class also. So the idea here is, especially around Vedanta Shastra, is we have to unlearn a lot of things to actually learn Vedanta. Because what I have been learning to so far is, throughout my life, starting from my birth, I have been taught that I am this body and mind, and anything outside of my body and mind is actually not me. So there is ahankara and mamakara that is being taught, and we say this is yours, this is not yours, that is that person's. So we have been taught all through ahankara and mamakara. So now this is going to be drastically different, where we are saying there is nothing other than you. So what you say as mine is also within you. So in terms of the knowledge that is going to be taught here is going to be drastically different from what we actually follow in the day-to-day life. So in that case, what happens is there will be a lot of questions, there will be a lot of, there could be, to start with, there could be a lot of disbelief as well. So at that point of time, we should get the Shraddha we will allow the Shraddha to overpower us, to actually make us stay in the right path, and then hope that knowledge and the understanding actually dawns on us as we get ourselves more qualified. And what is the qualification? We have already seen them: Sadhana Chatushtayam, Vivekam, Vairagyam, Mumukshutvam, and Shraddha is also one of the qualifications, where we saw Samaha, Damaha, Uparamaha, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhanam. So as we grow on that qualification, we would be able to understand this better. Of course, the idea is not to judge, but to basically be able to accept it until with the time we understand. If we don't understand, you can always question, but do not do Vidantavada. That's what we say. Ashish,
can I just thanks much.
Yeah, can I just add my 2 bits in there? Because I think this is a question we have grappled with right at the beginning with Guruji. So Viruji, I think the point that the way I understood this piece was that, look, Vedanta is obviously all about samvad, but the level of samvad, the kind of samvad differs depending on with whom you are doing it. For example, when you have accepted someone as a guru, you've accepted them as a superior, so you are allowed to question the question.
Sorry, sorry to interrupt you there. I have some difference even there. Like, I mean, in Advaita, when you say,
let Ashish finish it, and then we can.
I'm not even.
Sure.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that with the guru, because you accept someone as a guru, first of all, that idea must have dawned, and then you must have realized that they are superior to you in terms of the knowledge. So somewhere there has to be a taker attitude in you. You question only in terms of where you think there is a gap, what you have not understood, and you are asking the guru to give it to you. Whereas a samvad with an equal is a different kind of samvad, wherein you are trying to actually probably debate rather than, just accepting. But nonetheless, that's the way I think earlier I had grasped.
Ashish, there is a point to what you're saying. Basically, when you are accepting somebody as a guru, you accept as a shishya that the guru knows something that you don't know and that you would want to learn that thing from the guru. So when you go to the guru saying that I already call myself a shishya, and which means I am actually do not know this subject and you know it better than me, or you know it well enough for you to teach me. So at that point of time, we'll have to let go of our ego. We cannot at that point of time debate as an equal, but more likely question to understand, not question to actually see whether the guru really knows, or whether actually to sort of validate whether this is actually in line with what my preconceived notions are, or my whatever experience that I have had in my life. So that should not be the way. So that is the point. Yes, you have a point, Ashish ji. Venu, now if you want to add something.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, Ashish ji, I get that point. Like, so here it is more of I get that Guru Shishya Bhava that you are talking about, where you are basically kind of go with the premise that yes, it's more like a student asking a professor, like, okay, teach me calculus or trigonometry kind of a thing, like I don't know this, you teach me this. But here, one difference I see is basically, life is common to all of us. Like, you, I, Rams, everybody, we all go through life as it is. So, in that sense, and also life as such, is there a single guru? Is there something like, aren't you learning from everything and every day, from everybody and everywhere? Shouldn't you be learning and open? That's one question. And then secondly, the notion that the other person saying has to be correct, is that not dangerous? Is the second question actually. Shouldn't be, because surrounded in the world by where we get so many things which are wrong also, shouldn't we be open? That's the second question actually. The trust element has to be there. He is not going to do it with a bad intention, but he may be deluded himself, or the things he's saying could be wrong. So that it's not I'm not getting into the trust part at all. Trust is there, and that's why we first engage in the first place. But the thing is, this Sharanagati and Shraddha are kind of a little worrisome for me, basically. Isn't that the cause for a lot of the kind of wrong people, people behind people, taken for a ride and all of that? Is it not these two principles that's causing all of that misery? Why should we go that route is the question. But I kind of see to it that's not what when Ram said, okay, you need to you can listen and you can kind of question also. Only thing, you need a trust element. That's perfectly fine. That's definitely the thing. But I don't really believe that we should what shall I say, just take it, even if you don't see it internally, is something I can't get it.
Okay. So when I leave it to you. I don't want to discuss stretch this, but the point that here what Shraddha and Sharanagati means here is typically, of course, one, you said do we not get teachers on everything? Do we not get the learnings from everybody from around us in terms of it? We are not talking for those kind of learnings that we are making in our material world. Kind of understanding how we can actually help ourselves get better by looking at others. That is not the Guru Shishya that we are talking about. Here we are talking about Vedanta Shastra, especially about Brahma Jnana. So we are here talking about Brahma Jnana, number one. Number two, Atma Jnanam. So number one. So that is not about, you don't go to everybody to get this particular Jnana. You go to a Sampradaya Guru who understands and has learned from their Guru in terms of how it needs to be taught, what is being taught. And there is a particular way in which it is actually taught, by which it has been proved through the experience of all the Sishyas before the Guru Shishya Parampara, through this Guru Shishya Parampara, that this method of teaching has actually helped people realize Jnana, get Jnana. So this is first difference. The second thing is, once you have come to Atma Jnana and Brahma Jnana, and once you have identified a Guru, then the question here is, there is a need for having a Sharanagati and a Shraddha on the Shastras and the Guru to ensure that you are able to get the maximum benefit out of that knowledge. Now, if we start questioning whether I should really give up my knowledge, whether I should unlearn whatever I have learned from so many people in my life, then obviously it is a call that the Shishya takes. But if that is what is happening, then the Shastras say, and again, our Shastras do not say you must do it. The Shastra says if you do it, you can do it, but then there is you will probably lose out on the the acceleration in terms of your understanding. That's all. So the clear indication here is, we are not talking about any Guru do a Sharanagati and others. We are talking about Brahma Jnana, Atma Jnana, that kind of Advaita Vedanta Sharanagati. And the second thing is, doing what level of Sharanagati. Even today, there would be, of course, students who wouldn't be able to do Sharanagati to the Guru. Forget Guru. We even say Tanamana Dana Sabu Kuch Tera when we do a Aarti to Bhagavan. And that is actually Sharanagati. But really, do we really do that Sharanagati? Because the next day Aarti also we say Tanamana Dana Sabu Kuch Tera. Then what happens? Do we get a second body the next day that we want to do Sharanagati to second time to the Bhagavan? No. But it is all kind of lip service that we give to Bhagavan. And what Shastra says here is, unless you do a full Sharanagati of your intellect and your ego to the Shastras and the Guru, the knowledge in terms of how fast you are able to assimilate it, there will be you may have to compromise on that. So that's the understanding. So I think I'll leave it here and maybe we'll go further.
Sure. Thank you so much. Yeah, it does bring some perspective. Thank you.
Okay. So, Karpanya dosho pahavat svabhavaha. So here he is actually, Arjuna is actually basically agreeing, or he basically says that he has got a mind, he's got a dosha in his mind. That dosha is Karpanyam. Karpanyam, as I said, it comes out of Kripa Bhava. Kripa normally means compassion, but here it is miserliness. And upahata, my mind is covered by it. Swabhavaha, my mind has become such a mind that it has been covered by Karpanya dosha. I have attained such a state of mind. And as I said, for a Kshatriya, this is crushing, because for a Kshatriya, he wouldn't want to be seen as a weak person. Now he is saying he is helpless. Many of us whom we know, they would have become miserly, okay? But they treat themselves low, they think they are low, they would be happy to serve others for the sake of getting some brownie points, or for the sake of some material goals. They would be willing to give up everything. That miserliness is a dosha. And actually some people who are in that state, they do not even know that it is a dosha. That having that self-pity is a problem also. We should not have a mind of self-pity. And Shankaracharya says, in Sadhana Panchakam, especially for sannyasis, he says, Janakripa naishturyam utsrujyatam. He says, when a sannyasi, when somebody becomes a sannyasi, what happens is, and for the sannyasi, Shankaracharya is warning, don't get fooled by sympathy and compassion from people. This kripa, the pity that you get from others, some people love it. And therefore, when you ask somebody how they are, they would always want to say that they are actually not doing good. They would want to say that they are actually, for two reasons. One, it could be, they don't want others to actually cast an eye on them. They don't want others to feel jealous about them. So they always kind of underplay how they are. Or the second set of people, there are people who would want to have pity on them. They would always like, oh, you are so bad. I mean, they would like to hear that pity, get that pity from others. And Shankaracharya warns sannyasis, don't get into that state. Don't get fooled by sympathy and compassion from people. What happens when somebody becomes a sannyasi? There will be a lot of people who would come to them and offer sannyasi the food, good food, comfort. They will say sannyasi, they will ask the sannyasi to come in their car. And when they actually invited the sannyasi to home, they will actually give an air condition, give them a cushion to sit, wash their legs, serve them good food, all those things. Shankaracharya warns, sannyasi, these people are giving you so much of comfort and they are showing pity. Oh, you have actually given up everything and therefore I should give this to you because you have given up everything in your life. At that time, the sannyasi should not feel, oh, these people are giving these out of love. They are not, so sannyasi should not feel or get deluded by that. And typically, every human being, everybody, every one of us have some amount of pity within us. We always have some bit of pity. Even a dreaded terrorist can have some amount of pity in his mind. It is good to have that pity, but it becomes a weakness when we convert that into a misplaced sympathy. There are places where we show sympathy, but those are all misplaced sympathy. Like, for example, take an example at house, when our children, they do some mistake, as in they do something adharma, or they actually do say if they go and fight unnecessarily with somebody else, beat somebody else up and come back, or they do some small bit of stealing somewhere, or they tell a lie, and then they come back home, and when you actually scold them and they start crying and they start saying that I won't eat food, they try to actually do these things. At that point of time, the sympathy factor comes out. Our mind gets, we have to show, we end up showing pity on them, and we try to cover up and saying that okay, it's okay, now go and eat or go and sleep, or okay. So that is all kind of misplaced sympathy, where we are not able to correct the mistakes of especially children. This is an example of misplaced sympathy. Then in the office environment also, there will be cases where you can have this kind of misplaced sympathy. This misplaced sympathy should be avoided. So now for Arjuna, he has been able to identify that this is a dosha, that he has got some misplaced sympathy on who? On Bhishma and Drona. Karpanya dosha bhagavat svabhavaha. And my mind is helpless. My mind is overpowered by helpless. It has been incapacitated by Karpanya dosha. And then he says, Prichami tvam dharma sammuda chetaha. Prichami tvam. He says, I ask you. Arjuna says, I am asking you Krishna. I am asking you Bhagavan. And he is asking directly. So far he had not asked Bhagavan directly anything. So now he is asking, I ask you. And remember, and he is explaining how his intellect is. We saw the mind and intellect are two parts of the same antakarana. The same instrument has got, in fact, 4 parts. In some places we say 2. Mind, mano and buddhi. The manas is already affected by Karpanya dosha. He has already said, my mind is affected by Karpanya dosha. Now he is saying his intellect, sammuda chetaha. Mudaha means deluded, confused. Sammudaha means completely deluded, totally confused. So sammuda chetaha means here it means the intellect. Now, on what it is completely deluded, on what it is confused? Dharma sammuda chetaha. In which area it is confused? Dharma. See, the same Arjuna who said that he will not fight this war because it is adharma, who said he doesn't want any Shreyas, he doesn't want any wealth, any kingdom, any comforts because it is all against Dharma, now is agreeing, he is accepting that he is confused on Dharma and Adharma. So this is actually a revelation. So he is a kind of opening up. Both his mind is affected and his intellect is affected. As I said, when we are affected by these kind of emotions, we don't even realize. And if we are able to realize at that point of time, then it is only our punya that is working. So Arjuna's punya is working now. And he says, Dharma sammuda chetaha. Now this dharma here, it is Sampradaya Gurus, they give two sets of meanings here. Dharma here can be interpreted as that which is right and that which is wrong. Dharma means right and wrong. Kartavyam, akartavyam. That is one way to understand dharma. The second way is that which is swadharma and that which is not swadharma. That which is my duty and that which is not my duty. That is another way to interpret dharma. In any case, what it means, Arjuna says here is, I don't know what to do. I am confused on what I need to do. So right now Arjuna has started negating the same position that he had taken in the first chapter. He says, my intellect is completely deluded regarding dharma, regarding righteousness and duty, and my mind is overpowered by helplessness, and therefore prichami tvam, I am asking you, I ask you. What is he asking? We don't know. He himself doesn't know what to ask. As I said, Arjuna knows that he doesn't want this war, but he doesn't know what Krishna can offer, what Bhagavan can offer. So he is asking something in general. What does he ask? Yat shreyasyan niścitaṃ brūhi tanme. Yat syat means which is śreyaḥ. Yat śreyaḥ. Shreya means good for me. I ask you which is good for me. Prichami tvam yat syat śreyaḥ. I ask you which is good for me. Brūhi tat. You tell me that. Kindly tell me. Yat shreyat syat niścitaṃ brūhi tanme. That niścitaṃ, we will come back to it later. First we will do some small vichara on śreyaḥ. Śreyaḥ means good. Good. It's a nice word. Good. Now the opposite of this word, when we say good, what is the opposite? We will say bad. But in Sanskritam, in especially Shastras, when we say śreyaḥ, the opposite of śreyaḥ is not bad. The opposite of śreyaḥ, especially in Upanishad, in Kathopanishad, it says śreyaḥ opposite is preyah. Shreyas, Preyas. And what is Preyas? Preyas means pleasure. In Kathopanishad, Yamadharma Raja uses this to Nachiketa. The opposite of good is pleasure. So what does this mean? What does this imply? Whatever is pleasing to me need not be good to me. It is something that is good, that is good for me, but I may not like it. And in every second on our life, we can either choose to live our life by prayers, or we can choose to live our life by prayers, Shreyas. Right from what we want to eat. These are things that are good for your body, for your health. Bitter gourd, snake gourd, whatever, all those things. Then there is also on the other side, you have aloo, fried, and all those things. We decide on what we want to do. Whether we want to go for Shreyas or we want to go for prayers. The choice is ours. And we can see how many times we have chosen to live by what we like as against what is good for us. So this is Shreyas. Shreyas means good. And how does Arjuna wants Bhagavan to tell this good thing to him? He says, niścitaṃ brūhi. Niścitaṃ brūhi. See, sometimes when we ask for an opinion, we don't even say advice. We will ask for an opinion. Should I do it? Should I not do it? And when we actually ask that person itself, we will be making it very clear. I am asking your opinion. As in, I am not asking your advice. Or we may say, can you suggest? So these are things where you say, I am not sure whether you have the right answer or not. I just want to listen. Something that many Sishyas also do with the Gurus. But that is fine. That is not Shraddha. But here, Arjuna is a true Sishya. And therefore he is saying, niścitaṃ brūhi. He does not want Bhagavan to say, you can either do this. Some people, when you ask them whether to do this or not, it's better for us if we know for sure that they are not going to follow whatever we say. It is better to say, you can do whatever pleases you or whatever is correct for you. That way it is better for both the people. So here Arjuna is saying, niścitaṃ brūhi. Definitely tell me. Don't give me options. Arjuna, you can do this, you can do that. No. You tell me exactly what I want me to do. This is a way to show that Arjuna says, Bhagavan, I truly believe in you. So when we ask for people's advice, and if we definitely believe in that person, we would say, tell me what I want, tell me what I should do. And when we ask the question of the person says what based on their knowledge and experience they say, and then if we follow it, that is the kind of Shraddha. That is an example of Shraddha. So here Arjuna is saying, Bhagavan, I truly believe you, so tell me definitely. Don't tell me this or that. I have full trust in your words, so niścitaṃ brūhi. So niścitaṃ should be added to brūhi to say, I have full trust in your words and I have trust that the words will take me to the correct path. It will give me Shreyas. I don't have any doubt. Now, so definitely tell me, don't give me options. Now this niścitaṃ can be also added to the word śreyaḥ. Niścitaṃ śreyaḥ. And this also has got two interpretations. Nirnītaṃ śreyaḥ. Nirnītaṃ śreyaḥ means, tell me what has been already decided. What has been decided already, as in what has been decided as the right path. When we say already decided, who decides the right path? Shastras. So Vedas have given what is the right goal for humans. So here what it says is, please give me the path that has been decided by the Shastras. Niścitaṃ śreyaḥ. So give me what the Shastras say, what the Vedas say as the right path. Another way to have this niścitaṃ śreyaḥ, another interpretation is, give me a permanent solution. Give me what is good for me permanently. Don't give me a temporary solution. Sometimes when we go to the doctor gives some medicines that will actually only work on the symptoms. So here he is saying to Bhagavan, don't give me a solution which will take away my symptoms alone. Give me a solution, don't give me a temporary relief. Give me a permanent solution. So niścitaṃ śreyaḥ can also be interpreted that way. And when we talk about this Shishya, Guru and all this Shraddha, Sharanagati, there's one more point. Shastras themselves say, and there is a rule given in Shastras that one who did not ask or one who does not have an attitude of Shishya, this knowledge should not be given to that person, because it will be you are actually lowering the value of this knowledge by giving it to that person. There will be many instances where Bhagavan will be indicating that. He will say Raja Vidya, Raja Guhyam in later chapters also, that this Vidya is Raja Vidya and Raja Guhyam, it's royal secret. Don't give it easily. So here Arjuna understands this well, that this is actually Bhagavan will give me the right one, and he should give me the right one, and he has to give me clearly that I have to do it and I will do it, and that solution should be permanent one. And finally he says, Shishyasteham shadimam tvam prapannam. Shishyaha te aham. I am your disciple. And Shishya means Sashana Yogyaha Shishyaha. Sashana Yogyaha Shishyaha. Sashana means, we say Sashanam. Sashanam means actually Upadesha. So one who is qualified to get Upadesha is Shishya. Sashana Yogyaha Shishya. One who is qualified to get Yogya means one who is qualified. One who is qualified to get the Upadesha is Shishya. And that is the beauty of Sanskrit language. Many words, the word itself explains the meaning. For example, we have this word called Rama. What is the meaning of Rama? Swayam Ramate iti Ramaha. One who is happy with oneself and will give happiness to others is Rama. And that is how meaning of Rama, and that is the name of Rama as well. And that is, he fits the meaning as well. So in the same manner, Shishyaha explains one who is qualified to receive Upadesha. And remember, Sishyasteham. So now he has become disciple. So which means, in these days, Guru Shishya means different, totally different. As you said, Guru and Shishya are treated equally and all those things. But in those days, Guru would be given respect by the Shishya. Now when Arjuna says Sishyasteham, initially he was commanding Bhagavan, Krishna. You remember, he said, bring the chariot in front of the two armies. So he commanded Krishna to do that. He asked the chariot to be placed in front of the two armies. Now, to the same charioteer, he has now surrendered. So he has now surrendered to Parthasarathi. So Parthasarathi has become Gitacharya now. So when Arjuna turns into a Shishya, Bhagavan has turned into a Guru now. And he says, Shadi Mam. Shadi Mam means teach me. Actually, Shadi means protect. Protect me. So in this context, we can say, give me Upadesha, teach me. And what is the attitude that Arjuna says? How does Arjuna request this? He says with that attitude, Tvam Prapannam. Prapannam Tvam. Prapatti means surrendering. Prapannam means Prapannam Tvam, who have surrendered to you. Teach me, for I have surrendered to you. Shadimam Tvam Prapannam. Teach me, for I have surrendered to you. So this sloka, as I said, important sloka where Arjuna's mind change and the Arjuna becomes a Shishya. In the first line of the sloka, Arjuna tells about his mindset, where he says, Karpanya dosha pahat svabhavaha prichami tvam dharma sammuda chetaha. My mind is deluded, my intellect is deluded, my mind is full of karpanya dosha. Then in the second line he basically tells, tell me what is the right, what is good for me. Give me a permanent solution. I am willing to listen to you completely. I have full trust in you. I have become your Shishya and I have surrendered to you. And when he says Prapannam Tvam, I have surrendered means I am willing to let go of my preconceived notions, whatever I have learned so far as what I think my experience is. I am willing to unlearn all of them. I am willing to take whatever you say. I am emptying my mind, I am emptying my intellect, I am emptying my ego, so that you can fill it with the right knowledge. So so Arjuna now has come to the fourth step. You remember what are the 4 steps? First step is to understand that I am in samsara, discover samsara, that my life, I am in samsara. I have to discover that. Otherwise, I take life as it comes. I don't even think that I am in samsara. This is everybody goes through their life. Some people also say, after all, you have only one life. They also say, we don't believe in it. Anyway, so first is discovery of samsara. The second is a desire to come out of samsara. I want to come out of this samsara. I want to actually get moksha. I want to be free. I want to get liberated. Then the third one is the helplessness. That whatever I am doing to get myself free from this samsara, whatever changes I am doing, whatever changes that I am doing in my lifestyle, with people around me, with the setup around me, I am trying to change things. I am going to see an astrologer to see my horoscope. I go to this temple, or I go to, I change house, I change jobs. All those things are not working. So that helplessness I have to understand. And then fourth step is basically, I surrender myself to a guru and shastra. So this is, Arjuna has come to the fourth step. And in the next sloka, basically Arjuna is giving his mindset again. And that is also important. What he is making clear in the next sloka is, I have told you that I want all these things. I've told you that I want you to tell me what is good for me. But there are certain things that I do not want. I do know that there are certain things that will not help me in my in getting a relief to this problem that I face. I know that there are certain things which cannot remove my sorrow, because I have already experienced. So that he is actually disclosing in the next sloka. We'll see in the sloka number 8. It is the same meter. Nahi prapashyami mama punadhyat yacchokamuccoshanam indriyanam avapya bhuma vasapatna mriddham rajyam suranam api chadipatyam. Nahi prapashyami mama punadhyat yacchokamuccoshanam indriyanam avapya bhuma vasapatna riddham rajyam suranam api chadipatyam. So Arjuna explains his mindset again to Bhagavan. And here in this shloka, Arjuna confesses that his grief is so deep and intense that he says that the local solutions, temporary solutions, the solutions which will address the topical problem will not work. And generally what happens is, when we pray to Ishvara, when we talk to Ishvara, to Bhagavan on a daily basis, what we say is, we seek Ishvara's help. So if there is a problem at home or at office or something, we will generally pray to Ishvara. And we say, you have to solve it, Bhagavan, you have to address it. And even after saying that, we will continue to worry about this problem. And why do we do that? Because we do not do a proper Sharanagati. We do not have complete trust in Bhagavan. Trust me, we do not have complete trust in Bhagavan. If at all we have a trust in Bhagavan, then we will say to the Bhagavan, okay, take care of this problem, and then we will not worry about it. Because we always think that Bhagavan is there, maybe not there, or maybe he may not help me because maybe I have not been a good person. All those kind of things will go in our mind. But if for a true Shishya, for a true person, or for a true devotee, we are all believers, we are all not devotees. We have this kind of belief, maybe there is Bhagavan, maybe he will help me, maybe he will not. That kind of place we are in. But for a true devotee, he will just give it to Bhagavan and he will say, I will not worry about it, you will take care. An intelligent person will leave the worrying part to Bhagavan and will do the work that is needed for getting things done. Whereas what we do the opposite. We think the worrying part will be done by us, the work he will try to get it done. So we want to clear an exam, for example, or an interview. I will not study or prepare for the interview. I expect Bhagavan to help me get through that. But whether I will pass or clear the interview, I will worry on that. So I will not do the work, but I want the work to be done by Bhagavan, worrying to be done by me. But actually speaking, the worrying has to be done not by anybody, but the work has to be done by us. So this is the problem when we do. And the example of this worrying is which Swamiji said that. Normally when, once a person, a simpleton, in those days in a village, he actually took a train, and he normally carries his things in a large dhoti. He actually puts them out, ties them up, and normally carries it on his head. And he actually normally carries and walks. Then there was a train that came up, and he was asked to get onto the train. And then when he got into the train as well, he was still carrying his things on his head without actually letting them down on the train. And this is the same as what we are doing. Once we get on to this kind of spiritual path, we should be intelligent enough to let the worrying part be taken care by Bhagavan. And we should be only focusing on what needs to be done. And another thing, so this is one thing. So a Sharanagati has to be total. Sharanagati, we don't do it totally. And in a Guru Shishya also, a Sharanagati, it's very important. How does a Guru know that the attitude, how will the Guru know the attitude of the person who is coming to the Guru? Guru will not know. The Guru will not know whether this person is coming to actually, some people come to actually test the Guru, whether he has the knowledge. I want to test that person before, or they might just do a casual visit, as in whether he is really serious. So the Guru will not know whether the Shishya is serious student or not, and whether he has come to surrender or not. Here Arjuna is, if Bhagavan could have that kind of doubt, Arjuna is clarifying that here. And that is what this sloka is about. He is saying to Bhagavan, there is no path other than you, whatever you say. He is saying that there is no other place for him to surrender. Bhagavan, don't think that I will do half Sharanagati with you and half Sharanagati with the other person, or I do a kind of a Namke Vaste Sharanagati. and he says, I have this shoka, I want to remove this shoka, and I have surrendered on to you. And whenever, for us also, right, when we are actually having a problem, we try to look for solution in the area of the problem. For example, if we have a headache, so to remove headache, we will try to address the cause. We will try to address the cause that is the reason, that is why, that is actually the cause of the headache. And my solution to that headache would be dependent on what I think is the cause of the headache. For example, my headache could have been, one person could think that the headache is because of an eye problem. I think it's an eye related to eye, and that's why I'm having a headache. So they will go to an eye specialist. Some people think that it could be related to my tooth, and therefore I'm getting a headache. So they will go to a dentist. Or some people might think it is the headache I'm getting is because of my stomach. So they will go to that kind of specialist. Or some people might think it is related to my sinus, and then they will go to the doctor. Or some people might think that the headache is because of some dosha, and therefore they could go to a temple. Or some people might think there is a problem in the horoscope, and then they might go to a josya to see their horoscope. So it really depends on my solution will depend on what I think is the cause of the problem. So if I have a suffering, and we know what could be the cause of it, then we will try to look for solutions only in that area. And why I am saying this is, whatever problems we see in this world seems to be different, and so many problems which are related to day-to-day activities that we get. Question is, but the solution that is offered by Bhagavad Gita and Upanishads and all those things does not seem to be on the area that we think that the problem is. For example, if a lady has a problem with her mother-in-law, so there is a problem with the mother-in-law, and if we ask that lady to say, okay, if you want to get over the problems, study Vedanta. Now, will she be able to accept it? If she doesn't have that kind of maturity or the punya, maybe she may not be able to accept it. Because she will think that the answer actually lies in changing the behavior of the mother-in-law, changing the mind of my mother-in-law. Only then my problem will be solved. But it will take some time for her to realize that changing another person's mind is close to impossible. It is extremely difficult. And even if she manages to change the mind of the other person a little bit, by the time she herself will become a mother-in-law, she will have her own daughter-in-law also. And now the daughter-in-law will be actually spending time to effort and time to change her mother-in-law, which is her. And this is what is happening from generation to generation. We have been trying to address what we think is the cause. Now, what is the crux of this is, I will take effort on things which I think is the cause of my sorrow. So if I feel that my problem is because I have lack of money, then I will take effort to gain more money. If a person thinks that he wants to be successful, and for him to be successful, the only way that he can do is basically in the peer world that he lives in, he has to show that he has reached a stage of, say, SVP, a senior vice president in his office. He needs a promotion. Then he will be working towards that only. So we know that there are areas, we will be working only on things that we think are where the solutions lie. As in where my problem is, and therefore where the solutions lie. Here, Arjuna wants Bhagavan to remove his sorrow. He has surrendered. He has complete trust on Bhagavan. that Bhagavan can remove his sorrow. But he also knows that there are certain things that does not remove his sorrow, that cannot remove his sorrow. And for a Shishya, for a good Shishya, he also needs to know what he does not need to know. So, for example, a Shishya wants to get realization, and there is somebody who is actually teaching you how to get money, so that you meditate, and you, after some meditation, or after going to a temple for 14 days, you will get money. Or after doing this, taking this vrata for 3 months, you will get a promotion. Hey, but my problem is actually to remove sorrow in my life, not about getting money or not about getting promotion. So we know there will be certain things that we are not interested in, and Arjuna also knows that. And Arjuna is going to say here is, I do not see anything in this world that can take away my grief. So if Bhagavan, so basically what he's saying is, Bhagavan, if you are going to offer me, Arjuna, just go fight this war, you are going to get the kingdom. The kingdom is which will be prosperous, you will be unrivaled, and who knows, as you actually expand the kingdom, one day you can even become Indra, the ruler of Devas. If Bhagavan is going to offer that kind of solution, Arjuna is clear, that will not solve his problem. I do not think that will solve the problem. No possession in this world will be able to take away my sorrow. That is what he is going to say. More on that vichara we will do on in the next class. There will be small vichara we will do, and then we will close this this particular shloka in the next class. Any questions or comments? Okay. If not, then we will meet again in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.